Go to the streets, empower this political force that is Peronism. This is the call. We were live to Buenos Aires, Argentina. We were listening to former President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner following the decision of the Supreme Court to uphold her conviction on the Vialidad case. In her remarks, Fernández thanked the people for their support, condemned the restrictions to the popular vote imposed by the Milei administration. She mentioned, "They thought I was done," she said, "but they are mistaken. Peronism is the only alternative to what Argentinians are living today, the only alternative to those on the government who are completely free to cause the same pain and the same damage that caused those years of dictatorship in the country." This sentence was already written. Fernández warned this many times. They will pardon Peronists, that we stand by the workers, and also the workers need to participate, and they need to understand that the workers need to participate in the political life. That's the only way to build a fairer society, she said. They can put me in jail, Fernández mentioned, but this won't solve the multidimensional crisis the country is facing, like the lack of food, lack of medicines, unfair wages. In the meantime, also, social movements are at this moment on the streets following this attack to democracy, since Milei is trying to take the main force of the opposition out of the way as part of this last step to absolutely disregard the Constitution. Many reactions are coming on this way. For example, the defender of Cristina Fernández de Kirchner has released a tweet on X mentioning that Gregorio Dalbon, mentioning that as Cristina Fernández de Kirchner's lawyer, I denounce before the Argentine people and the international community one of the most serious and shameful judicial decisions since the return of democracy in 1983. Today, a leader who committed no crime has been convicted. Today, a pre-written sentence has sealed the process that should never have taken place. This is not a conviction, it is a revenge of those in power. It is the result of a network of interests that cannot tolerate a human who transformed Argentina with social justice, political sovereignty, and also economic independence. A leader who was not and will not be part of the system of privileges that governs from the shadows. There is no crime, there is no evidence, there is no justice. We say this with complete legal clarity. There is no Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, there is also no typical unlawful or culpable act attributed to Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. There is no direct or indirect evidence. There is no malice, no personal benefit, no participation. There is not even a clear description of the punishable act. The sentence is based on the conjecture, interferences, and a narrative fabricated outside the case filed. It is also an artificial constitution that ignores the principle of legality and flagrantly violates all due process guarantee. Cristina was not tried. She was convicted in advance by a court that acted without independence or impartiality in obedience to a persecution framework that goes beyond the judicial system and responds to a political objective to ban her. We are facing a conviction incompatible with the rule of law. We have witnessed so absolutely flawed process that violates the international commitments assumed by the Argentine state in the area of human rights. Article 14 of the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights has been violated. The presumption of innocence has been ignored. The judiciary has been co-opted to act as just another cog in the machine of political discipline. This ruling does not withstand the slightest scrutiny of constitutionality or conventionality. It has no legal or moral legitimacy. The struggle continues and it will be global. Let it be clear, This injustice does not defeat us. It forces us to redouble our efforts. From this moment on, we activate all international review mechanisms, the Inter-American Commission and Court of Human Rights, the United Nations Human Rights Council, the International Criminal Court, and every multilateral legal forum where the rule of law is still upheld. Because when a judiciary ceases to protect the innocent to serve those in power, what is at stake is not just a person's freedom, it is the very health of democracy. Cristina is not alone, she's not defeated, she's not condemned by history. History has already absolved her, the people have already embraced her, and the world will soon see what is happening here. Political persecution disguised as legality. That is why we say it with the authority that law gives us and the conviction that the truth gives us. They condemn an innocent woman. Where there is no justice, there will be struggle. And where there is injustice, there will be us firm, dignified, and standing. It is time to fight. We will. The sentence is not legitimate, nor are the judges. This is just the beginning. I love you very much, Cristina. Those were the words of the attorney of Cristina Fernandez, the Kirchner, minutes before the decision of the Supreme Court of Justice to uphold the conviction on Cristina Fernandez, the Kirchner case, Vialidad case. This is what is happening today in Argentina. This is what has been happening today, and this has been a clear defeat for the ultra-right wing and the government of Argentina led by President Javier Milei, because it is a moment of reaffirmation. It is a moment in which the people is on the streets supporting the leader of Peronism in the country in spite of the political persecution, in spite of the unjust procedure that has been falling upon her. She's saying, this is me, I'm innocent. And let's see also former member of the Deputy Chambers of Argentina that also reacted to this decision of the Supreme Court of Justice. Let's see on our screens at this moment. Miriam Breman said, "This is a shameful ruling, a clear anti-democratic step. It must be repudiated." The whole world is witnessing this what is happening today in Argentina, that is an attempt against democracy, an attempt against lawfare, an attempt against the leader, a powerful leader of the opposition from the Peronism movement in the country that is today more united than ever. This is happening minutes before the announcement of the Supreme Court of Justice to uphold the conviction against Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner on the Vialidad case. Let's recall that in her remarks, Fernandez thanked the people for their support, also condemned the restrictions to the popular vote imposed by the Milei administration. "They thought I was done," she said, "but they are mistaken. Peronism is the only alternative to what Argentinians are living today, the only alternative to those on the government who are completely free to cause the same pain and also the same damage that caused those years of dictatorship." Cristina Fernandez, in her remarks, also pay homage to the mothers of Plaza de Mayo and also all the struggle that she helped to put forward in the center of the debate, of the political debate in the country during both of her administrations, and also as vice president during the previous government that came before this Milei administration. Also, she remembered the pain, the damage that was caused during those years of dictatorship and how the country is reviving those feelings. Let's see now another reaction to this decision. It comes from Cuba, from the Foreign Affairs Minister of Cuba, Bruno Rodriguez. In his official X account, he said, "Cuba expresses its firm solidarity with Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. We reiterate our support for the Argentine people in the defense of sovereignty and indignity. The conviction of Argentina Fernández de Kirchner is a clear act of revenge and threat." The whole world is seeing with with despise what is happening, what has happened in Argentina, a political move that, in spite of dividing the powerful force of Peronism in the country, has actually united the people towards and in conjunction with the leader Cristina Fernandez, the Kirchner, who received today the final decision on this matter, the decision of the Supreme Court of Justice to uphold the conviction against her and put her 60. That would mean that she will have to step down from any political post 3 months before the legislative elections that are set to take place in the country, and in this process in which she was set to hold a political position in a sector of the province of Buenos Aires in which Kirchnerism and Peronism have a very solid foundation. Let's see another reaction. It comes from Cuba as well, from President Miguel Díaz-Canel, who shared in his official X account the following, and I quote, "We reaffirm our unwavering support for Cristina Fernández de Kirchner in the face of this episode of political judicialization. Once again, the politically motivated justice system is being used as a tool by the right against the progressive leaders in the region. Strength, dear Cristina." Let's recall Cristina Fernández de Kirchner has a very strong and friendly relationship with Cuba, which also has been a safe place for the just process that are taking place in Latin America, and which shares also very strong connections with the social struggle that former President Cristina Fernández tried to and put forward during her both of her government times, their time in office in Argentina and also as vice president. Let's recall that former President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner offered statements to her followers at the entrance of the Jurists Party headquarters in Buenos Aires, Argentina, just a minute before and also following the announcement of the Court of Justice decision to uphold the conviction against her. In her remarks, she said, They need to understand that workers need to be part and need to participate in the political life of the country, and that is the only way to build a fairer society. She mentioned, "They can put me in jail, but this won't solve the multidimensional crisis that the country is facing. Lack of food, lack of medicines, unfair wages, elderly people being beaten up by political forces under the command of the minister, no one but the Minister of Defense, Patricia Bullrich, under also the commands of Javier Milei, President Javier Milei." In the meantime, let's recall that social movements are on the streets following this attack to democracy. Milei is trying to take the main force of the opposition out of the way as part of his last step to absolutely disregard the constitution, but he is not going to be able to do so. She said, "They thought that I was done, but I'm not. I'm stronger than ever." And this is a proof of it. People are on the streets, they are uniting, they are supporting the leader. They are saying, "Cristina Fernández, you are not alone." And also is the world saying this? The world is saying the same. We saw also reactions from former President of Ecuador, Rafael Correa, who has also been a victim himself of this lawfare that falls upon the leaders, the progressive leaders of the region, and also performed always by the extreme right wing of the country. Also, let's recall, she is the leader of Peronism. She's loved by many people. For example, this is a reaction of former President of Ecuador, Rafael Correa. "Go Cristina, go Argentina. Enough with the lawfare. Defeat us if you can at the polls." This is what he said, supporting her fellow leader Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. This is not news for Latin America. We have seen this before. We have seen this on Rafael Correa's case as well. also against against the president of Argentina, Luis Ignacio Lula da Silva. This is not done. The work is not done. She ended her message urging the people to take to the streets, urging the people to empower this political force that is Peronism, urging the people to stay beside the workers, to stay beside the most vulnerable people of the society.